Hi, I'm Wendy.
I'm Brian.
And we are Retired, Renewed, and Rerouted. Today we wanted to share a little bit about provincial camp hosting. We've finished our second year. And so we just wanted to share with you what it is, what it involves, and a little bit of our experience and our opinions about camp hosting. So stay tuned. So we were camp hosting for the last 2 years down at Dunvegan Provincial Park, which is an Alberta park, and it is located near Fairview, Alberta. The time that we spent there was 2.5 months each time. And a little bit about Dunvegan, it's a historical park, or I should say it has a historical park attached to it. And there's some really interesting old buildings to see there. There's a day use area with it. They've got an awesome playground there for kids. Going and touring through the buildings there is really a worthwhile trip. There's a bridge, the Peace River Bridge that crosses right there, and I guess it's one of the most photographed bridges in the area. But yeah, I guess
in Alberta,
yeah, in Alberta. There's a market garden down there, and that garden has been a family-run business for several decades.
Yeah, since the early 50s,
Yeah. There's lots of small wildlife around there. We don't really get the deer and don't really get bears. Nothing big that you have to worry about wandering through the camp. But like last year, there was lots of mice and lots of snakes. And this year there weren't...
Little snakes.
Oh, big snakes. Big snakes. And, yeah, big snakes. It almost caused a couple of bike accidents.
Yeah. Garter snakes, yes.
And this year, for some reason, there were no mice and there were no snakes. And what we did have a lot of this year was a lot of rabbits. Apparently there's 3 different kinds of rabbits there, and we had a lot of squirrels and a lot of chipmunks. Okay, and so how did we hear about the camp hosting?
I don't know. You got it.
We were actually at another campground, and we got talking with the camp host there. Now, they had been working as hosts at that camp for about 10 years when they were talking with us about it, and they shared with us some of their experiences, and they were also full-time RVers. Yeah, and they've been full-time RVing for about 11-12 years at that time. So as we talked with them, I kind of realized that this might be something that would really suit Brian quite well as we entered into retirement. So what we did is you go online to the Provincial Park website, and there'll be a spot there that talks about jobs, and you kind of arrow down on that, and you'll see volunteers, and then you can apply right there to be a volunteer. And it's really a very easy job, or easy to apply, I should say. So what are the requirements? Well, you need to be sociable, you need to be available, and you need to be knowledgeable. Sociable meaning that you just really have to like talking with people. That's kind of one of the biggest things that you're going to be doing, is talking to a lot of people. So if you enjoy meeting people, and we just got to hear some really interesting stories about people and their travels and their lives. That was really kind of fun. Being available means that you're not there sitting locked up inside your camper all day. You're outside, whether you're sitting outside your unit or you're walking around the park. You need to be available. Being knowledgeable, learn everything that you can about your location. You need to know what's available locally, like grocery shopping, laundromats, where to go to the bank, where's the best place to get propane, and knowledgeable about your park. Like for us, we had a historical park attached to the campground. So we learned a few facts about that, and this way we could encourage people to go and take these tours. And we would often, in the mornings, especially on the weekends, we would find out from the park staff if there was anything special going on. Like sometimes they had an amphitheater play, or there was some kind of special kids activity that they were doing. And so that was part of our being knowledgeable about our campground. And then the other thing that we had to do is on occasion we would help the rangers or the CO or the park staff with some odd jobs. Like one time they were having this big event and it was just being part of helping them out with camping. Another time for the 1st of July, they open up the historical side, and it's quite a busy day, and so they have bannock and tea, and so we manned the fire and we helped people make bannock over the fire, which again was a lot of fun. Brian really got into it with the kids, and
Kids are fun.
yeah, kids are fun.
Well, they're not.
Okay. And then the other thing you have to do is be aware. You are kind of like the eyes and ears of the CO and the rangers when they're not there. So it's kind of like you just have to keep an eye out, make sure that there's nothing really bad going on. And if there is, you put in a phone call to them, and then they kind of decide from there how they're going to handle it. But like you don't have to get involved in altercations or disputes or anything like that. So this year I asked our CO if I could do a fireside story time for the little kids. And so every Saturday night we'd build a fire and the kids would come and I read stories to them, and it was a lot of fun. You know, so sometimes if you have an idea that you want to do, you talk to your host and you get the yay or the nay on it. And this was a fun thing. It was a fun activity to do. Sometimes I had one kid there and sometimes I had a half dozen kids there, but it was all really enjoyable. Okay. And so what else does it entail? You get to live at the campground for the duration of your stay. Most of them really do prefer a longer stay, like they'd like you to be there for the whole season rather than, you know, well, I'm going to host for these couple of weeks. In our park, we got full hookup.
Sort of, yeah.
Yeah, like you had to, we had a spigot nearby our site so that we could fill up our holding tanks with fresh water. Mm-hmm. And we had a sewer dump right there for us, you know, and you get power. And you get your spot for free. Mm-hmm. So what was our experience? Well, as I've already said, we did a lot of walking.
Yep, we did.
Yeah, most of the time the walks were around the park, and you're checking sites. We met a lot of people. We got to hear about their stories and experiences. We really got to enjoy being outside. Like, I'm not much of an outdoor person, and it really forced me to be outside. So, you know, got a lot of that good sunshine. Though this year there was a lot of rain and a lot of cloudy days. Mm-hmm. It becomes a chance to slow down because you have to be there. You really can't go off-site wandering every day. You have to be in the campground there. Your days are just very casual. We read a lot of books. Didn't get too many projects done this year. No. But yeah, Brian a couple of times pulled his camera out and took some pictures. The not so nice part, for us was you got to pick up a lot of garbage, and you find out how kind of sloppy people can be. The things that we found in fire pits sometimes was a bit discouraging. Won't go into details. You end up dealing sometimes with a lot of problem people and their problems. And the other thing was that, yeah, you are available 24 hours there. So, after 2 years of doing camp hosting, we've decided that we're not going to do it again right now. We may do it again sometime in the future, but we realized that we're tied down there a little bit more than what we want to be. And we want to be free to do a little bit more traveling, a little bit more exploring, and a few more sower projects. So would I recommend it? Absolutely recommend camp hosting. It is a wonderful experience if you like people. And if you want a chance to just kind of slow down a little bit, it is a wonderful experience for sure.
Yep.
Okay, and there was somebody that you wanted to say hi to.
Again?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Hi, Stephen. Behave yourself. Keep looking up. Yep. He knows what I'm talking about.
Yeah. Stephen Fair is a little guy that we have in our church. He's not so little. He's a great young man.
He's got hairier legs than I have. He's 14, 15 years old.
Yeah, and he's just going through some major medical issues right now. And so we just want to give a thumbs up and a shout out to Stephen.
Yep. Yeah. Don't ever give up, Stephen. I told you that many times.
Okay, so there you go. Thank you so much for watching. Hope you've enjoyed, and we will see you next time. Oh, and by the way, don't forget to give us a thumbs up, and hit that subscribe button, and do check us out on Facebook. Catch you next time.